Hello, Chippewa Falls Middle School Cardinals. This is Assistant Principal Mr. Desjardins coming at you from Studio 418, also known as the grade level office. The purpose of this presentation is to provide you with an overview of our lunch procedures and the behavior expectations during lunchtime, which is easily one of the students' favorite times of the day. Before we dive into lunchroom specific expectations, it's important to understand that we have 4 expectations here at the middle school. They are: be safe, be respectful, be responsible, and be productive. These expectations exist in all environments at Chippewa Falls Middle School, whether we are inside or outside. If you are unsure of what expectations are at any time, be sure to check the matrix that's posted in each area of the building. As I said, lunchtime is one of the times that students look most forward to during the school day. It's important to know that we have over 1,100 students that are transitioning in the hallways at the same time. In addition to these 1,100 students, we also have about 200 adults that work in our middle school, not to mention visitors and volunteers that may be walking the hallways at any time. So it's very important to follow the expectations that will be covered in this presentation. The first expectation listed on the slide is to be sure to put all your materials in your locker when you transition from class to lunch. You will have plenty of time when you're dismissed from lunch to go back to your locker and get books and supplies for the classes that follow. Another expectation listed is to go directly to the lunchroom, also called the Commons or the Cardinal Cafe at the Chippewa Falls Middle School. On your way to lunch, be sure to walk on the right side. When you get to the Commons, check the menu board near the clock, as it will list the hot lunch options for the day. Know that you always have the option to get the salad bar instead if you choose. After taking a look at the menu, walk directly to a table of your choice and take a seat. When you pick a place to sit, be sure to stay there for the duration of the lunch period. Be mindful that there's a maximum of 6 students who can sit at the small tables and 8 at the large tables. Staff will monitor this and ask students to move if this expectation isn't followed. As far as getting up and moving around, the only time you'll need to get up from your seat is when you have too many at a table, you get permission from a lunch supervisor to go get your food, or when you return your tray. Now, when you arrive, be sure to use a conversational voice. A conversational voice is the voice that you're hearing me use right now. And believe me, your friends will find you. You do not need to yell to them when they arrive to the lunchroom. Moving on to the lunch line. When the supervisor tells you that your table can go get in the lunch line, walk. With about 400 people in the larger lunchroom and about 200 people in the smaller lunchroom, there are legs, feet, and chairs all over the place in walking paths. Be careful. Be sure to pay attention to what is in front of you. Keep your hands and feet to yourself at all times. When walking to the lunch line and while waiting in the lunch line, continue to use a conversational voice. When it is your turn to get a tray, take the top tray. The reason you take the top tray is because it keeps the line moving. It keeps the stacks of trays organized, and your hands only on one tray. As you go through the lunch line, use that conversational voice to say thank you to our lunch staff. They are great. Use your manners and show appreciation for what they do. It's also important to be respectful of the utensils provided to get your food. Be sure to return the utensil you use to the appropriate bin. If there's something wrong with the equipment, let an adult know and they can help you out. Food. Yes, food. In addition to the expectations we also let you eat, you'll also see signs that remind you to take at least one vegetable or fruit. This is an expectation that is one that we need to follow as a school. In addition, it's good to eat your fruit and veggies because it'll help you grow big and strong and keep you healthy. After getting your sides, it's time to get on to the main course. Be sure to hold up your tray to the server and let the server know what you'd like. After you've made your lunch choices, you'll need to enter your code on a keypad. Be sure to use only the code that is assigned to you. Be mindful that our lunch staff sees your picture when your code is entered. After you've entered your 4-digit code, go safely and directly back to your seat. When you're back at your table, be sure to use lunch items properly. Use appropriate table etiquette and maintain a conversational voice. Also, only eat your own food. Following these simple expectations can help lead to a much more enjoyable lunch experience for everyone. When you've finished eating your lunch, please return your tray and utensils to the appropriate area. Staff does not need to dismiss you for this. You will see a return line near where you picked up your lunch. Be sure to remove gum and other food from your tray when you are at the garbage cans. Place your silverware in the appropriate tubs and stack your tray neatly in the return window. Lunch staff will be near the return area if you need assistance. As you finish dropping off your tray, stop by the hand sanitizers to clean up your hands. As always, follow the school-wide expectations. One thing to be aware of is if there's only a few minutes left in the lunch period, lunch supervisors will ask you to stay at your table so they can start dismissing for the next period. Be sure to be patient and wait for them to dismiss you. At that point, if you still have your tray, simply return to your table and wait to be dismissed before returning your tray and utensils. When you leave, be sure to push your chair back into the table you were sitting at when you're dismissed. Unless you eat the later lunch period, then you need to stack your chairs. Lunch staff will help direct you and guide you to do this appropriately in the beginning of the school year. Be sure to stack your chair behind the table and out of the walkway. When I say behind, I mean stack the chairs on the side of the table closest to the rest of the school, or where directed by the lunch supervisor. Be sure to walk as you exit the lunchroom. If you follow these school-wide expectations, and all of our school-wide expectations, the dismissal of the lunchroom works out very smoothly. As you return to your locker or go on to your next period, be mindful that other grade levels are in class. Be respectful of their learning. We do have lunch supervisors who will be in the commons to help. Our lunch supervisors are staff that works in our building. These staff members will move throughout the commons during the entire lunch period. Understand that they will be the ones who will dismiss your table for you to go get food and are the ones to go to if you need assistance. In addition to dismissing you to get your lunch supervisors will monitor noise levels and behavior. These adults are the ones you go to if you need something, whether it be a question or if you have a request. At the end of the lunch period, our lunch supervisors will dismiss you table by table to go to your next class. Continue to follow our 4 expectations, specifically using a conversational voice and walking. Understand that if you do not follow our school-wide expectations, in addition to the expectations covered in this presentation, you may be assigned to consequences. Eating with your friends is a privilege, and most students enjoy the time that they get at lunch with their friends. Be sure you are meeting expectations so that privilege can be enjoyed. If, for some reason, you are assigned a consequence for appropriate behavior, Be sure to follow the adult directives. Not doing so will likely lead to you not being able to enjoy lunch with your friends. Have fun during lunch. This is the only time you get to be with your entire grade level or half of your grade level at the same time on a regular basis. Take the opportunity to catch up with old friends or make new ones. Thanks for listening and have a great